Shalom, shalom. I want to begin this video first and foremost following His Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, and that's like to give up honors to our teachers, the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, GMS, who taught all of us the 100% truth according to the Bible, who's been great examples to us in the faith, and that's like to give up shalom to the elders, the bishops that's been laboring. Shalom to the elect and our brother Ban Hala Allah. Come back with you another video through the Spirit, Lord's willing. It's edifying. Quick lesson through the Spirit. Another major storm is coming to the Carolinas. Look, it's all being orchestrated by the God of the Bible. Look, more reason why we should fear the Lord, man. Who you ignorantly and call God in Jesus Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Look, this is what they're bringing. This is what they're bringing. Came across this article. You see it, Charlotte Observer. Y'all can go check out the article. It says on egg size hell headed to North Carolina. Forecaster says, here's the latest. And I'm outside whatever doing the lesson. Lord's willing, you can hear me. It says a violent line of thunderstorm is heading for North Carolina. And it may include falling chunks of ice big enough to cause injuries, weather experts say. The worst of the weather will reach mountains. So like it, man. I'm gonna have to go somewhere else, man. Bear with me. I'm back. It says a violent line of thunderstorms heading for North Carolina, and it may include falling chunks of ice big enough to cause injuries, weather experts say. And it says the worst of the weather will reach mountains, counties. So these are different counties this is going to affect, right? Late Thursday, May the 8th, right? Until Friday. And today's the 8th. It says until Friday morning. And will extend as far east as the Charlotte area. The National Weather Service says included in the forecast are gusts near 35 miles per hour, even horizontal rain. And it says scattered thunderstorms are expected to develop by late this afternoon and continue into this evening. A few of these storms will become strong to severe, with a risk of quarter size to egg size hail and damaging wind, according to the officials. And I wonder who's bringing the storms. Like I said, quick warning: a major storm is coming to the Carolinas. I wonder who's bringing it. We're gonna see according to the Bible who's bringing the storms, who's bringing the floods, the rain, the earthquake, etc. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Isaiah 28:2. Behold, the Lord has a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hell. Look, a tempest of hell. Let's go to some images real fast. Bear with me. So these images of egg-sized hell. And look, this is what that article is talking about, right? Look, this is what the article is talking about. Isaiah 28:2. Behold, the Lord has a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hell, which you see here in this scripture, what you see here on the screen right here. All right. This is what the Lord is bringing. This is what Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua is bringing, and look, it's all to the judgment of the Lord. Just imagine if you get hit with one of those. You out of there. I know you hear the sirens in the background. Look, judgment, man. The Lord bringeth forth judgment. What it says, every morning the Lord bringeth forth judgment, he faileth not. Somebody wasn't fearing the Lord. But anyway, it says Isaiah 20:2, behold, the Lord has a mighty and strong one, which is the tempest of hell, and a destroying storm. What's a destroying storm? A storm that destroys shit, right? It says, it's overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with their hand. These different floods is all being cast down by the hands of the Lord. More reason to fear. And we're gonna stay in the book of Isaiah. We're gonna jump a chapter over. Like I said, people are wondering why these things are happening. Who's bringing the hell, the floods, the rain, the damaging? Look, it's Yahweh Shema Shai. You see? Look, that's who's bringing this major storm to the Carolinas, right? Isaiah 29:6, thou should be visited of the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies, who you even call God and Jesus, Yahweh Bashim Shai. Look, with thunder. Look, with thunder, right? These different thunderstorms. You see? The Lord is visiting the earth with thunderstorms, man. And what comes after that? Lightning. And who's controlling all that? The God of the Bible. Look, you say you wanted the Lord to visit you, right? This is how the Lord is going to visit you people with some thunder, man. It says, and with earthquakes. You got earthquakes happening in these different diverse places. Who's control of that? Yahweh Bashim Shai. And great noise. Look, with storm, especially when it's thunder, it's making hella noise, man. It says and with great noise. Look, with storms and tempests, you got storms everywhere, man. And you got a major one heading this way to the Carolinas, man. That's what the news reported. A violent line of thunderstorms heading for North Carolina. It says the worst of the weather will reach mountain counties late Thursday, May 8th into Friday morning, man. You see? So you got storms everywhere, man. Look, more to come. And tempest. Look, the Lord is visiting you people with storm and tempest. The tempest is a mighty storm, man. You see? It says, and flames are devouring fire. You got all kind of fires going on right about now. House fires, those raging wildfires, all that is coming from the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. And should there not be evils in the city? Look, should there be evils in the city? The Lord have not done it. It says, I'm gonna keep reading. The storm are associated with cold fronts that will stall over the southeast until early next week, keeping unsettled weather around for days. Officials say. Jump down. It says hell is created when updraft from growing storms push water droplets into a region of the atmosphere which is below the freezing temperatures. Got more lightning striking, or more lightning strikes. Again, going back to Isaiah 29:6. That's how the Lord is visiting this place. And you got judgment going forth at the same time. Isaiah 29:6. Thou should be visited of the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies, with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, with storm and tempest. Look, and the flame of devouring fire. So who's bringing this storm to the Carolinas? It's Yahweh Bashim Shai. Still in Isaiah. This Isaiah 45:7. It says, I formed the light and created darkness. I made peace and created evil. Meaning these bad times. I, the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, do all these things. So the evils, the bad times, that's coming from Yahweh Bashim Shai. The Lord's going to bring more bad times. It's Isaiah 45:7. It says, I formed the light, created darkness. I made peace and created evil, meaning bad times. I, the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, do all these things. And the Lord's going to bring more bad times to you people. These different storms, these so-called disasters, guess what? That's part of the evils that the Lord's bringing. You know, a whole lot of people, houses, trees, cars, gonna end up getting struck by some lightning, some thunder. Look, you're gonna see ambulances in your neighborhood. This is what's coming. It happens every time, especially if it's a major thunderstorm too. But going back to the scripture, the Lord said He's bringing the evils. So you get caught up in a bad time, you get caught up in some evil. Just know the Lord had it to happen. This is I, the Lord, Yahweh Bashim, shall do all these things. Look, look, He's not a nice guy, and a lot of people are gonna find it out the hard way. Let's go to Amos 3. That's just the back that scripture. Amos 3:6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Should there be evils in the city, meaning these bad times, and the Lord have not done it? Look, should there be bad times in the city, and the Lord have not done it? I just read Isaiah 29:6, who's bringing the storms. The Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies, right? Yahweh Ba'ashim Shabbat. The majority of our people, they're not listening. The majority of the Israelites, they're not listening. They're too busy partying, having fun. But you got ninjas still trying to be seen, still trying to be cute. I know down here in the Lord County, they just got finished. They just got finished having a damn barbecue festival downtown. The festival was packed with people. Look, everybody trying to be outside, not knowing a damn storm is coming. But the majority of our people, they don't watch the news. They're not watching nothing, so they don't know what the hell is going on. So when the Lord do bring that storm, when that storm do finally come, it's gonna catch them by surprise because they're not watching. They're not walking around circumspect. They're not paying attention to nothing. They're not measuring the times. They're not reading the scriptures. You see, they're too busy trying to have fun. The scriptures say that's the end of all men, right? And the scriptures also say the prudent man, a wise man, foreseeth the evil. He hideth himself. But the simple pass on and are punished. And these people out here, they fucking simple as shit. And they're gonna be punished, man. They're gonna be punished by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Hell, they're being punished now. And the Lord most definitely gonna punish them with this storm that He's bringing, right? Remember the scriptures say, persecute them with thy tempest, make them afraid with thy storms, right? I'm quoting Psalms 83. The Lord said He's gonna persecute these people with the storm, man. With a tempest, and He's gonna make them afraid with the storm, right? Psalms 83:15. So persecute them with that tempest, which is a mighty storm, and make them afraid with that storms, man. Cause these people, they don't fear the Lord, but they're gonna wish they did. The Lord said He's gonna persecute these people. The Lord said He's gonna persecute these people, man. Let's get the definition for the word persecute.
Persecute.
Persecute. It's a verb. Subject someone to hostility and ill treatment, especially because of their race, which it has nothing to do with your race. This is religion or sexual orientation or their political belief. Look, oppress. Look, mistreat, punish. You see what I'm saying? Punish. That's one of the synonyms for persecute. The Lord's gonna straight up punish these people, man. That's what the storm gonna do. Straight up punish these people, man. Look, afflict, torment, torture. So when the Lord bring it down, storm, the rain, the hells, those floods, those earthquakes, the lightning, it's gonna straight up torture these people, straight up torment these people, afflict these people. What it says, harass or annoy someone persistently. Harass. Let's see, trouble. These people gonna be trouble, man. Soon come. More than it is now, right? Worry, annoy, look, bully, look, give someone a hard time, man. And that's what the Lord is doing when He bringing these storms, man. You see? But this is a quick lesson, a quick in the news. Hey, look, evil isn't only evil. It's coming upon these people. Like I said, another warning is going out. A major storm is heading to the Carolinas. It's going to hit different counties. Look, Israel, you better seek the Lord. You better seek Yahweh Shema Shai. Judgment showing us going forth. Lord's willing, the lesson was edifying. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.